Good morning, you're welcome to the news and current affairs segment of ECWA Television Africa. From the Dailies is the program where we bring you headlines of stories making the in the newspapers of our national dailies and stories of interest. We discuss it on the show. So we start now the later around 9:30, that is 30 minutes into the show. You can we open the phone lines where you call in to make your contribution, input and opinions on what is happening in your dearly beloved nation. My name is Joyce Akwari. I have Sambo Solomon with me in the studio. Sambo, today is Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yes. Why are you so happy about Friday?
Well, I just have to, because I'm looking forward to see the weekend where you rest a bit, coming from the back-to-back.
Oh, well, it's good to have rest, take out time to rest, having worked so hard during the week. And I'm so happy about Friday and about the weekend. I'm happy to go. I'm sad to leave, though. So if you don't get it,
Yes.
it's okay. So let's go to your first paper.
All right, I have Daily Independent with me, and then it has this on the front page. It said, raid on Justice Orderly's home. AGF Malami rattled as CSP claims he works for him. Police arrest. Parade CSP 13 orders over evasion. Suspect linked to raid, not our staff, this day. And you have this that says, jailbreak, 3,906 inmates on the run. 954 recaptured, says minister. And then bandit invade FUT, that is Federal University of Technology, Mina. That's the community, and then kill one and adopt two. That you can find on page 6. INEC to present certificate of return to Soludo today, says Anambra Goba poll held under trying circumstances, that you can find on page 7. Progressive are waiting for you, Lawan tells Abia governor, page 7. That's the much I can take for a Daily Independent.
Okay.
You have an interest story there?
It has to do with the bandits invading Federal University of Technology, Mina, and killing one person, adopting two people. Yesterday, we had it in report too, where bandits attacked the community in Sokoto State, Imo State, and what's the other?
Taraba.
Katsina State.
Katsina and Taraba.
Yes, and Taraba. So this is frequent now in the news. It's coming out in the news, and you know that there's still the problem of banditry, and there was also a community too in Kaduna which was attacked too. So it's still at large, the issue of banditry and kidnapping unknown gunmen is still at large then, and it's coming out in the paper. Then another interest is the jailbreak of the 3,906 inmates on the run, 954 recaptured. If you follow through the story, it has been frequent too. And we've had the issue of some certain people going to the jails, to the prison to break through and release inmates in it, and there will be warnings. First of all, it's more like, what war will I use now? the government saying, pleading with the inmates to come back. Then later on, then they will be like, okay, giving them threats. If you don't come back, this is what will happen. This is what, and you wonder if we really have a record, system, a record of all these inmates, like a database where, yes, if someone runs, you can easily come up with his identity for trace. You can even put wanted, all through the streets, media, and all. But it's like we don't even know them, except maybe you recognize them, except maybe you as an official in the jail, you recognize someone that maybe escaped from your the prison cell. But as having a database of these prisoners, I don't think we do, and that is why they are still at large. Yeah,
you're right, Joyce. Talking about records, are we trying to say we don't have records for see this number 3,906? It's not a small number. We are not talking 3, 4, 5 or thereabout. 3,900, almost 4,000. And I can tell you, with this number, I have never seen any picture anywhere or either in the newspaper that these people are wanted in case you come across, yes, you have an information on that. So I think we need to do more.
And these people are inmates. That means they've been convicted of a crime.
Yes.
And the society, there is how we look at convicted personalities.
Not all those.
There are some that are innocent, but already they've been convicted of a crime. There is how the society look
some
at
are going trial normally, so they have to keep you there. And you go through the process of the trial, you go to the court, they bring you back,
yes,
before conviction. That's why you see the issue of Magu took like 3 years or 4 years thereabout before conviction that we just got. So there are people like that. Some spent more than, and some are innocent, like you said,
yes,
and some are convicted. So we have this category of people.
Well, my point is the convicted, that's maybe the people that really did the crime and were in the cells. When they break through, they don't go back to maybe, the society will accept them now or whatsoever. Some of them can easily go into crimes to make ends meet. And that's why we have so many of these gunmen, unknown gunmen. We have the kidnappers. Because people are trying to make ends meet. And we don't know if it is from these people, that come up as a sect. Before you run away or escape prison, there will be a plan, and while you are in the cell, maybe you have a network, maybe a friend you talk to. When we get out, this is what we'll do. Before you know, it's a network already, a group of people coming out with the same ideology or plan on what to do when they go out so that they can make ends meet. And they can set up a sect. They'll be like, okay, this is what we want to do further. Or some people can go to actually do great jobs, maybe go to menial jobs or try to make ends meet in a very good way, but there are some that already they feel, the society has already tagged them like that, and the easy thing is to go into crime. And that is my point. That's what I was trying to say. If we don't really have a database, how would we know who is missing? If we don't have a database, how are we even supposed to know that, this is the number? Maybe it's just an estimate or whatsoever, but at least if there's a database, there's how you can bring them, bring names out or even pictures out to say, this person is wanted, he broke through the prisons and whatsoever, announcement to be.
Yes, you're right. And these people are connected to, people out there. You definitely have a family. You're coming from somewhere, unless if the inmate is a foreigner. Even if he's a foreigner, at least coming to that facility, that means he must go through a certain scrutiny. Get his database. Where is he coming from? Who is related to him? And the rest. So, yeah.
Well, moving on to Nigerian News Direct, we have stories here. The first being COVID-19 vaccination. Buhari raises flag of warning, and you can find that story on page 2 of Nigerian News Direct. Stakeholders call for synergy between digital literacy infrastructure as NCC backs award. page 2 also of Nigerian News Direct. Then unemployment, Nigeria graduates lack skill for jobs acquisition, and this is the federal government saying that, and I wonder why though. Then fake lottery agent to spend 6 months in jail for internet fraud in Ilorin. Page 3 of Nigerian News Direct. E-Transact dismisses House Committee's claim on non-remittance. Then OPEC advocates sustainable policies towards reducing emissions. Page 16 of Nigerian News Direct. Then invasion of Justice Odili's residence. Police arrest 14 suspects for conspiracy, forgery, and personation. Page 3 of News Direct. Then we have the Femi Adesina's column, which is at the back page of the Nigerian News Direct.
I have the Daily Times with me. It's still talking about the Justice Orderly home invasion, and it says Malemi kicks as suspect says he works for him. Document presented during raid on Justice Orderly's home fraudulently obtained. Police are saying that federal government to set up security force to man porous border. That is coming from the NSA. And then you have FIRS generated 4.2 trillion naira between January and September 2021 despite COVID-19. That is coming from the chairman. You can read that on page 3. Then you have this that say why my government is committed to infrastructure renaissance. That is coming from the president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari. That's so much for Daily Times.
Okay. Moving on, we would like to take the Daily Trust, and we have Justice Odili, prime suspect, Malami trade words. And I consult for AGF, and that is coming from Ajodo. He is drowning minister. Whistleblower claims I am prayer warrior. We will get to the root of the matter, and this is MBA. Saying that shippers to court demurrage empty container charges after strike threats. Buhari cautions war leaders against hoarding COVID-19 vaccines. 13 Nigerians die in Niger Republic gold mine collapse. Then other story says missing Vanguard reporter found dead. This is sad. Nigerians can look after themselves if infrastructure is in place. And this is coming from Buhari. 5G has no health effects to reduce data costs. This is coming from NCC. And it's of interest, this Malame story, but I would like us to move ahead, then later discuss it. So you can take the business day.
Okay, business day. Lagos streets turn outlets for fast food. That's the big story there. And you have this that says on the left hand side, Mo Salah, most valuable African forward in Premier League. Salah, I believe Mohamed Salah, you know, the striker for Liverpool. And this one they are saying valuable African forward in Premier League. And we are proud of him. He's doing well. He has more goals. And whenever there's a match between Liverpool, he's a man to watch. You know, he's a dangerous striker. Anytime he's with the ball, you see defenders jittering. So we are proud because he's carrying the African flag. That's much I can take for this day.
Okay, moving on the first news, Anambra, Andy Uba rejects result of governorship election as Soludo collects certificate of return today. And we have man murders son for ritual as boy kills father over misfortune. Odili homes invasion, Malame under heat may lose job as suspected intruder alleges him as sponsor. AGF denies accusation, calls suspect a drowning man. EFCC detains ex-governor Ebinidion over alleged 1.6 billion naira fraud as anti-graft body secures conviction of 3 internet fraudsters in Benin City. Kanu Ibohu Ohaneze commends FG on political solution option. Akeredolu seeks urgent devolution of powers to states. Brazil beat Colombia, qualify for World Cup, and RCCG Paris emerged in matchmaking controversy. This Odilis home invasion. I think this is a developing story because we've been taking it on this program, the dailies. First time we reported her home was invaded. Then secondly, we reported how it was more controversial. People come and say, okay, why will her home be invaded? Then thirdly, we had the report of some suspects being arrested in line with the invasion. And now some of the suspects are pointing at Malame as the sponsor. What's your thoughts on that?
You know, when the NBA were like, okay, we really need to go deep into this issue. And you remember on this show we were saying, okay, this is another arm of the government, that all eye is there. And then for long, they have been accusing them that when it comes to delay in the justice system, bribery and the rest, people see them like they are compromising. And then for long, they have not been saying anything. And we say, this is what people are saying outside. Okay, now, because of one political interest and the rest, now is the arm of government, that's the judiciary, that is being attacked.
Yes.
And you start wondering, there was court, what did they call it? Search warrant.
Yes, given.
Given. From where? From the court. From a junior ranking officer giving an order. That's why you see one of the
suspects?
No, the paper said the order wrongly or fraudulently acquired. Then you give that order for people that you don't know to go and check your superior. This is a high Supreme Court judge. By the standard of men and by hierarchy, she's the next. So you can see the politics. So there's a shady deal, and I was going through the whole saga when they brought the warrant, or what they call it. It was his hand. It was his signature.
That was on it.
That was on it. But he claimed that he didn't know that it was Odili's house they are going to search.
So that means he didn't read the documents?
So the question is that, is it that you gave them an empty warrant and you sign? Where is it obtainable? To search what? So that means they should go and fill whatever they want to fill? You see, that is where the investigation started. And then the NBA said they will really take it to the latter. And then Supreme Court said, in one of their statements, they said they can also back and bite. So from that statement, then some people are saying, okay, how will Supreme Court bite until an issue get to them? How will an issue get to them? That means an investigation must be carried out. After the investigation, then something will go before the court, and the court will decide. So you see the progression in this saga, and we are watching. And thank God they are up and doing, because the NBA had her own 3-man investigating panel. The police are doing their own. Then the Senate are now saying even the probe should be made public.
Yeah.
That I applaud them. I say, yes, this is the way to go. Because some of these things, after investigation and everything, they now put it under the carpet. You didn't get to know who is involved. But thank God now the Senate are saying they don't see it. It's giving the country a bad name, and they said it should be made public, the investigation. And by this, we are seeing that yes, there's progress, and we don't want them to leave this investigation. Whoever is found wanting, let the law of the land take its course.
And it's true. And what is trending about the story this morning and from yesterday till now is the suspect pointing at Malame, and he is denying all. He's blowing hot and denying all claims that the suspect is drowning. He's a drowning man. Like, maybe what he's saying is just nonsense. So let's move on to the next paper.
Because so many people have interest on this, for the NBA to see they will be on top of the matter, and then for Supreme Court following, because they know who next. If orderly home is being invaded in such manner, then the rest of them are not even safe. Some can just be killed and be attacked. You can imagine. And then you said this thing happened, and everybody is saying, and police, military, DSS are involved, and then you are telling us that you don't know who gets the order. And people are wondering. Then some people are saying, okay, do you mean if we see people like that coming to our home, we should react? Because you don't know what will happen. Imagine, okay, her security, the people that are in charge of her home, like retaliate, and then something went wrong. We wouldn't have been talking about this now. So I believe the investigation should take place. Please, they should not sit this in. And I thank God because the way the whole thing is going.
Yes, and looking at it away from the Odilis home invasion, I think Malame is the man of the week because he has been in controversial situations. Yes, the Paris Club loan with the 36 states governors. You know, even though he's still insisting that they shouldn't back out because they agreed from the very beginning that they had interest in it and it was gotten, and now it's time to pay back, and they're saying, you know, they don't want to be part of it. But I don't think they are saying they don't want to be part of it. They are just saying they are suspecting him as he is too upfront with it, like, you know, it has to do with a lot of procedures, but he's ready to just do the deduction, send without even any processes. And this one again is coming up with the invasion matter, and a suspect is already pointing at him as the sponsor. You see, there are a lot of bad situations on him already, and he's been, I would just say the word is controversial. You know, he has been into controversies over from last week till now.
We'll follow the story gradually. I have blueprint with me. Should I take?
Of course.
All right. The blueprint is talking about the Nigerian correctional centers. It says 16 jailbreaks occur in 8 years. 3,646 inmates still on the run. And then you have Zenith Bank, GT Bank, others go after crypto account holders. Constituency project, we are owing contractors 5.7 billion naira ECN. That you can find on page 5. And then Andy Uba rejects Anambra election results, alleges rigging. That you can find on page 5. 49 insurgent killed, 1,186 surrender in 2 weeks. This is coming from the defense headquarters. That news you can find on page 19. Orderly's resident invasion. This day, disowned suspect as police nab 14. That's the more I can take for Blueprint. If you want to read more, you can go to your vendor, pick the Blueprint, and read the story of your interest.
Okay, before we move on to the next paper, I would like us to take a break so that we can open the phone lines. And for the viewers, this is a time where you call in to make your input contribution on all the stories we are taking on the national dailies, on our national dailies today, and on the program from the dailies. When you call, please stay away from your television set or pull down the volume completely down so that we can hear you without any interferences. Then you have just 30 seconds to make your point so that other people can have the same time to call in and make their point. When you call, state your name, where you're calling from, go straight to your contribution. We'll be back. This is from the dailies, coming to you live from ECWA Television Africa, and the phone lines are now open where you can call in to make your contribution on the show. My name is Joyce, and I still have Sambo in the studio with me, reading the headlines and discussing major stories. And we would like to go into this day newspaper, and on this day we have Governor Fayemi Malami should defend Nigeria and not claimants, and says Attorney General misleading President, alleges consultants demands dubious and fraudulent. This is on the This Day paper. Police parade 14 suspects over invasion of Justice Odili's residence. This Day disown Stanley Nwazema says he left company over 15 years ago. That is the media personality, or yes, a staff of This Day that was involved too in the raid, and now they are disowning him, saying they don't have any link with him because he left 15 years ago. So maybe he was doing it as a freelance or just on his own, and there's no link with This Day. Then Malami denies group leader. That's the suspect that is pointing at him as is the sponsor. Yes. Then Buhari, we have invested massively in roads, rail, power, airport. We have other stories that says South Africa's president who quashed appetite dies at 85, and that story can be found on page 47 of This Day paper. Let's move on.
Okay, I have Nigerian Tribune with me, still talking about the Odili's house invasion. Malami kicks a suspect, say he works for him. I am a consultant to AGF. Prime suspect alleged he is a drowning man. I have no business with him, AGF replied. Police parade 14 suspect
syndicates.
14 suspect syndicates includes bandits, journalists, lawyers, security officers.
I think you like the word bandits. He's actually herbalists.
Herbalist. You know, we have bandits.
So it has registered in your thoughts.
Yes, it's registered on my mind. And we have on the very demands substantial restructuring before 2023 polls, as you can find on page 8. Super TV CEO's mother case. Witness narrate how victim's body was found, that you can find on page 27. Federal government set up security force to man porous border, page 26. You have military deployed troops helicopter to patrol Abuja Kaduna railway line. This is coming from the defense headquarters. You can read more on the story on page 27. And then you have gas remain top priority top priority, transmission fuel for Nigeria. Buhari is saying that why I spearheaded campaign for direct primaries. Bajabi Amila is saying that. So if you want to know the reason, just pick Nigerian Tribune and then read more. Then you have Andy Uba still saying that Andy Uba reject Anambra election outcome INEC to present certificate of return to Soludo today. And then Paris Club consultants, they want to take advantage of Buhari's generosity to fleece Nigeria, saying that by Fahimi, that you can find on page 29.
Okay, moving on to the Nation newspaper, and just a reminder, our phone line is open. You can call in for your contribution. The phone line is written boldly on the screen. You can copy the number, call in, and make your contribution on the stories we are discussing today on the program from the dailies. And on the Nation, I have Governors AGF Malami working for consultants, and this is accusation from the 36 states governors of Nigeria. War over Paris Club loan refund rages. $7 million for 2-page letter raises dust. Minister insists states, local government can't back out. Case still in court, says Fayemi. And that's the big story on the Nation newspaper. Then we have other stories. Why our debt profile is rising by federal government. Infrastructure will help Nigeria grow fast, says Buhari. I agree with him on that. And the Uber rejects Anambra governorship results, and that story can be found on page 2. I think this is too late now to cry over it, because yes, Soludo has already been declared and he's receiving his certificate of return today. If he's rejecting it, then I don't know what to say about that. Lagos orders to benefit from UK's 27.5 million pounds, 27.5 million pounds, and that story can be found on page 38 of the Nation newspaper. Fake CSP cleric among alleged invaders of Odili's home. Still talking about the Odili story. You can read this. Okay, we have a caller, and this is Easy from Benue State. If you can hear us, please go ahead with your contribution.
As regards allegation levying AF, who Attorney General of the State, Victor Malam, the issues public investigation and to be put from office, and all the suspects punished accordingly. Thank you. God bless you.
Amen.
That was straight to the point.
Yes.
Yes, and it's in regards to the issue with Malami. Then I think that is all, but this is the last story on the Nation. Ibohu, Kano, Afenifere. Can I see this? Others back political solution, and that is on the Nation newspaper today. Let's move on, please.
Okay, I have the Daily Sun, which is the last paper that we'll be reviewing today. Police parade.
Okay, we have another call. Please go ahead.
Okay. Police parade invaders of Justice Odili's home. Name fake CSP, journalist, Islamic scholar, 11 others, 2 military personnel, 8 other suspects at large. Journalists, not our staff, this day is saying. APC broadcasting, I take that again, APC browbeating judiciary ahead of 2023, says Wiki. If you want to read the story entirely, you can find on page 6 and 7. Troop kill 46 insurgent, rescue 140 and 140 kidnapped persons. And then you have jailbreak, still the figure there, 3,906 inmates still at large. Federal government is saying that, page 4. And then you have this Afenifere tackles Buhari, insist Nigerians structure. I want to believe, I want to go with them. The issue of restructuring, Joyce. You know, the way this country is going, you feel, one part. That's the way some are feeling, or let me say most. Some are just feeling they are just there in this marriage of Nigeria. They are not carried along. Everything is one-sided. These are some of the things that normally when you hear it trigger all of these agitations that you hear from the Yoruba, from the Igbos, and then the Middle Belt are saying their own. So you just see, but we drum this bit of unity, for several years. But when it comes to the reality, seeing it playing on ground, you can't really feel it. People are not just okay with the way the country is being run. But when it comes to the issue of the country at large, everybody, they will tell you, we are Nigerians. You are in Nigeria. We are one body, one nation, and the rest. And then you find out when it comes to. Okay,
we have a caller from Abuja. Good morning. You're welcome to the program from the Dailies.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Please, can you tell us your name and go straight to your contribution?
I am Insight Prophet Ben Bali calling from Abuja, Nigeria.
Okay.
I actually want to use this great opportunity to appreciate the job that you are doing to enlighten the entire nation and to strengthening in understanding with the situation in the country.
Thank you.
One thing I want to use this great opportunity to say to our people, we ought to work together as one nation. We ought to put supportive measures for one another to be successful in our growth. Because I discovered something, if we don't support one another, then we are going to an endless journey. And I also want us to know that we have greater future ahead. We have our children that are hoping on us. And we are here today to put that greater future to be right ahead in future. It's like our parents who are late, some of them are old now. Maybe they have not been able to put things right for us. So now that we are privileged and we are opportune to see mediums to put things rightly like this, I am taking this medium to beg the government, to beg those who are at hands of powers, to beg those who are at the offices when they ask you to do something. You do it right. This is not just because of we, but we are doing a better future for ourselves. It is also important to look at what is happening around the world, other nations around the world, how effective their governments have been, how they have loved themselves, how they have stood for themselves. Anything that happens to any of the US citizens, the government is aware. The president is aware. The people are aware. If we are able as Nigerians to be able to share this love within ourselves, then I am telling you we are building a greater future ahead. If we don't value ourselves, there is nobody who is going to value us as one nation, Nigeria.
You're right.
Please, let's understand that love is all we need in this country. Love is very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, our caller from Abuja. And his advice is timely.
Well spoken.
Yes, it's love that we need, you know, to even rule, to lead, to be in our offices, to even take assignment as they are given to us accordingly and put the effort, the energy into doing them. Because in everything, they say charity rules, that is love,
Yes.
rules everything. You have to love someone before you can even treat him as a human being. You have to even love someone before you can even see his pain and his need. So that is very true, and we appreciate the advice, and the advice also to the government. I know they are hearing, the authorities too are hearing, and they've heard you.
And that part that he said we should do things right, that struck me, because you know, people are being given responsibility. Instead of them to do the right thing, they are doing the wrong thing. I think that is why, you know, we are having this serious divide. You know, people feeling unloved, people feeling they are not being carried along. So just know, just have it at the back of your mind. Okay, we have a call from Cameroon.
We have a call from Cameroon. If you can hear us, good morning from Nigeria, and please tell us your name. Can you move away from your television set, please? Then go ahead with your contribution. Can you move away from your television set? We can hear ourselves too from your television set. Well, call us back. We still have a little time where you can call back into the show so that you can give your contribution. You were saying something.
Yes. So Joyce, you see, whatever position you have been given, like we are discussing in today's life, you know, how, most especially the topic of today, like, do we have hope in Nigeria? What solution can we prefer coming together as Nigerians to really make Nigeria work? There are so many people that really want Nigeria to work. People don't want Nigeria to break, because we feel there are countries out there that they don't have the human resource, natural resource that we have, and they are doing well. So we feel we don't have excuse. But it's just the problem is that people that are given responsibility are not doing the right thing. Not the leaders up there. You know, because you can't just point a hand to a leader and then forgetting the follower.
Sure.
You as a gate man, you as a messenger, how many times do you hide someone's file for years or for months simply because of one selfish thing? Or you don't do what you are supposed to do in your post simply because you are expecting someone to give you something before you do something? We have to change that mentality. And the issue of this one is from my region, this one is my tribe, this one is my sister or my brother. We have to start doing things right. If not, we can't get it right.
True.
I think that's just the key.
Yeah. I would like us to go back to this day, which says there's a report there. 78% of girls in northern Nigeria marry before the age of 18. And this is a report on this day with a story on page 5. This is of interest too, and that's why I had to take us back. If there is a research like that, that you know that the level of education in northern Nigeria is a bit low for the women or for the girls, because mostly they are pushed into marriage. We've talked about the issue of early marriage, and it was a very big issue in Nigeria then. I think everything is now soft. It's like people don't really talk about it anymore. Or is it that they're tired of talking about it, like, you know, pushing young girls into early marriage, or there's a sect or another part of people that don't see anything wrong with it, but it's coming up as a report in the papers, and I think we should talk about it. Either education should be given a priority in the lives of these girls, and you have talking northern Nigeria, there are so many issues already they are dealing with. That's the kidnapping, banditry, and even adoption, you know, of school girls, school children, and now another thing is the marriage. Do you think it's a good thing that these girls marry at a very young age of 18?
Normal thinking person will frown at that. because you know, there are certain things that we adopt, we think is normal. You know, yes, before it can be normal, but coming to this age, the age of technology, it's not normal. You know, things evolve. As things before, we don't wear clothes. Excuse me. Yes, but as time goes on, you know, things evolve. People get to know how to do things differently, and then we are where we are today.
There's exposure, there's knowledge, there's a lot of things. But so, don't you think this exposure, the knowledge and everything, that's the fear that these certain people have, that it will influence their girls into getting married?
It depends. It depends on how you impact that that knowledge into someone. We are not saying every technology is good. Are we not the same people that are complaining about 5G now, that the federal government are saying it doesn't have a health implication? Yes, when things like this come, people will talk, people will ask questions. Then there are agencies or departments that are responsible to know how even to accept anything that is coming and to explain to her citizen, this is how it's gonna work, this is the advantage, this is the disadvantage. So you try your possible best to avoid the disadvantage. Let me tell you, you see, some of these things, they are strategic, they are intentional. To be honest, because when you look at, we have the unity colleges all are spread all around Nigeria. Let me ask you, when the issue of Boko Haram started, the target, if you see it very well, it was school. They started with Chibok.
Yes.
Ladies, like girls, right? Gradually, the issue of banditry, adoption, and the rest, schools, boarding schools, you know, they are trying to inflict fear, like in the mind of parents, that will make you think even to take your child to school is not safe. Because number one, you will start thinking of the safety. So you will withdraw. So you just feel it's normal. It's rather I stay with my child, not even taking him to school. That is generally. Then talk more of girls that they said they are vulnerable. The next thing, the parent will start saying, I think you should get married because I don't want to take you to school. At least you should be with someone that will take care of you. And then probably maybe I will have a grandchild from you. That's the mentality. Come on, in this age. And when you look at, I'm talking about the unity schools now, you know, which few have been attacked, even in the far north where we are talking. The cutoff point of the examination, if you check South, is high. It's from 100, 150. That's the 100, 80, 150 cut across different states, you know. And then in Zamfara is the male child is 4 and the female is 26.
4.
Yeah, the same state, but male are being given 26.
The female 26.
The female 26.
And the male 4.
While the male 4. Even if I didn't read anything, to just go by chenki as Hausa would say, like randomly just pick, I would score 4, more than 4 in the whole exam. So they are trying to tell you that for the lady to even get 26, why 26? Why not saying the whole state is 26, whether male or female? So you can see they even split. So that, if you look at it deeply, you will see that is intentional. Is intentional. That's not supposed to be. Is not supposed to be acceptable in this era. We're in 21st century. Very soon, everything will be driven by technology. So you want to drive your people from that, and then when people are going ahead, and then you start complaining that your people are being left behind. Sure. Even the cutoff point for university, they will say not is so percent. Already you are sending a bad signal, saying that your people are backward.
And
it shouldn't be.
The priority in the northern setting is never education, and that is why the cutoff points are that low. And if we have those cutoff points very low, that means they even want people to go to school. That's for the male. Let's say it's a general thing now, and they're giving North that type of cutoff point. They want people to go to school, but still, they don't see it as a priority. And the ladies, the girls are pushed into marriages, and even the boys that have that 4 cutoff marks on all, how ready are they, or how ready are they, family, even trying to push them into getting Western education. And another point of interest in everything we talked about is the bandit attack, kidnappings in Kaduna, in Imo State, Sokoto State, and we even saw in Niger State and Taraba State. So many people have been killed every day. It's like there is always a count.
Even
or a
Plateau.
census. Yes,
Plateau.
there's always a
2
count.
days ago, someone was picked at Faringada, that in Jos Plateau State here. They came 2 years ago. His wife was kidnapped. They paid the ransom. Later, he was the one that was kidnapped. He paid the ransom. Later they released him. After some time, the wife now passed on, and they believe it's because of the trauma that contributed. Now, day before yesterday, the guy is now picked again, by gunmen, heavy gunmen, and you start asking, what are all those strategies? Those strategies are not working. Those strategies, they are not working. And then we have DSS, we have the NIA, we have all those intelligence. Where are they? Where are they? What is happening? Can someone tell us really, really what is happening? This thing is getting out of hand. Very soon, people will start reacting, and you will not blame them. And you see this thing, when you talk about the international community, they have a way of playing their own politics. They are watching. And in this era of technology, any small thing is first-hand information. Somebody can just tag someone. Someone can tag someone. Someone can just record either voice or someone. It can send to someone out there. And that's how these things will go around. And this thing is getting into the outside the country. What image are we sending? And these people are watching, and they know how these things play. They know the structure that we have when it comes to security and when it comes to capacity. You can't undermine the intelligence of the NIA, the DSS. Because if you look at the energy that they put on certain things to tackle certain things, then you will know that something is wrong. Because this energy put together when it comes to the issue of the Shiite leader, when it comes to the issue of Kanu, the issue of Goho, you name them. Those energy, why can't we channel them in places that really, this issue of insecurity is eating us up? And then we are talking 2023 election. Joyce, how?
Well, I believe that the government are right on track with the issue of insecurity, because even Pantami came out to say the NIN registration will help out in bringing out the faces of criminals or identity of criminals on the internet. So we are hopeful, because we are tired of people, bandits or non-gunmen killing innocent Nigerians every day. And we hope that the authorities are right on track with it. It has been from the dailies on ECWA Television Africa, and we brought you stories making headlines and stories in Nigeria. Well, we have to go, and my name is Joyce. I did this with Sambo Solomon. Thank you very much for doing this with me. Yes, we see you on Monday with other fresh episode, Mondays to Fridays by 9 a.m. So always tune in to watch and make your contribution. Thank you very much.